Welcome to episode 297 of the Ben Briggs podcast. I am Ben Briggs. It is, it's meant to be Sunday, isn't it, people? Okay, we'll start. We'll be honest with you. It is Monday. It is Monday the 3rd of July, 2023. He says, not being able to hear himself through his fucking headphones. There we go. We started off swearing already. Holy fucking shit. It is, it's fucking Monday, people. And I'll tell you why it's fucking Monday and why I've started off swearing already. It's because my cocksucking motherfucking MacBook that I use only as a backup for this, because I record it all through the Rodecaster Pro 2. Holy fucking shit, there's a bit of advertising for you. Decided last night to update for fucking 12 hours. I have no idea why my MacBook did that, but it took 12 fucking hours for a fucking update. I know. We're starting off. We're going in strong. We're going in heavy on this episode. Yeah. So years ago, things didn't. You didn't have to update anything, did you? You'd get the fucking piece of shit that you wanted to use. You'd get a laptop years ago. There didn't seem to be half the fucking updates there are these days. It's all tracking you, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe I've been watching too many YouTube videos. I have no idea. But you'd fucking buy something, and then it was good to go. You never used to buy anything. I remember getting my first computer when I was a wee tiny Ben Briggs. Yeah, I think I got my first computer. My first computer was a ZX, a fucking, what was it? A Sinclair Spectrum. I was about to say ZX Spectrum, but it was a Sinclair Spectrum Plus 2. Tape loading, people. Some of you motherfuckers out there won't even know what a fucking tape is. This was tape loading. It was a grey fucking unit. It was about the size of this fucking keyboard that I've got in front of me that I've just held up to the camera. Which, as well, may I add, the keyboard is the worst piece of shit that I've ever bought. It's from Apple. It's a fucking wireless keyboard. And the delay on it when you press a button, and we all like pressing a button and get an instant response, don't we? Yeah? You with me on that one, people? The delay you put on the fucking... on it. So you're halfway through typing, you whack on caps lock because you need a capital letter. You press the button, you whack it off again, and then you continue typing, and about 3 letters down the line turns into a capital. That's one of my fucking bugbears with this system I've got here as well. You know, that never used to happen with this. Oh, get yourself a fucking wireless keyboard, Ben. It'll be cool, Ben. It's the future, Ben, isn't it? Just, why don't they just do wired keyboards anymore? At least you know when you press the button, it'd fucking work. Anyway, that's a fucking another issue, isn't it? This is going to be a fucking ranty episode, isn't it? I can tell already. Yeah. If you're not into ranting, like middle-aged men ranting at you, then tune out now, people, because we're going in fucking hard today. We're going in hard. He says. So I also look like shit, but I'll come to that in a minute. Yeah, so the first computer I ever got was a Spectrum Plus 2 tape loading. So you'd have to fucking pop the tape in, wait about half an hour. It had all that noise in it. All that sort of thing. You know when you used to get dial-up internet. This was a computer that wasn't even connected to the internet. It didn't even have an internet port. That's how long ago this was. The internet was a figment of somebody's imagination at that point. I don't even think it existed. So you'd pop the tape in, you'd load your game, which was something, you know, exceedingly pixelated, and it'd fucking play. That was it. You didn't have to update it. Straight out of the box, that was the thing. And now, for some reason, you have to update it all the time. Surely, you know, we're getting rid of bugs and glitches. Just fucking make it so it works in the first place without the bugs and glitches. Don't be too eager to get it into the marketplace Have it fucking ready and willing to go before you actually fucking flog it to me. Don't flog me something that's got bugs and glitches, and then I have to update over the next 2 years, and after 2 years, it'll be fucking obsolete. That's how they fucking get you. They sell you a piece of shit that has got bugs and glitches in it. I'm getting annoyed now. Fucking hell. Something came out of my lung there. Yeah, don't sell me something that's got bugs and glitches in it and then say, oh, we'll give it updates so it'll be fixed for you in 18 months, 2 years' time. And then after that 18 months and 2 years' time, it'll say, oh, it can't do updates anymore. And then your fucking apps stop working on it. This is how they get you, people. It's built-in obsolescence, isn't it? Which is how I feel very much so at the minute. After this weekend, holy fucking shit. Here we go. Here we're going to start. I have been feeling rough as fuck all weekend this weekend. Thank God I didn't have any gigs, because I think I would have shit myself on stage if I was there Saturday night. This all started on Friday, by the way. I know I'm going to talk about shit right now, but I have no idea what it is, and it made me miss something this weekend, and I was quite looking forward to that, to be perfectly honest. Let's have a little bit of water. I'm going to need this. This is all I've done all weekend. I've been flushing shit out of my system. This started on Friday. My mum came around to see me on Friday, and we were sitting here, and I was like, oh, God, Jesus, my stomach feels a bit funny, mother. I'm just going to nip the loo. Came back, sitting there having a coffee, thought this still doesn't feel right. Had to nip the loo again, came back, and then I was like, oh, I'm sorry about this, mother. This is 3 times I'm going to have to go. You've been here like 10 minutes. And I had to go back. And then, you know, my mum went, I've got cream cakes in the fridge just waiting to be eaten that my mother bought round for me on Friday that have probably gone out of like date or used by date now, which I haven't had the confidence in my inner workings to be able to eat. Jesus Christ, it was a fucking avalanche. I know you. I don't know where you're listening to this, if you are listening to it at all, or whether you've already just switched off at that. But Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, it was murder. Absolute fucking murder. This gives a bad impression of myself. I don't care. I don't care right now. I just know I'm on the other side. That's the only thing. If something like that is happening to you, all you can hope, pray, beg, borrow and plead is the fact that at some point you're going to be on the other end of it. But while that sort of thing is going on, Jesus fucking Christ, it don't know how to fucking take it out of you. That's why I look. I think, like, I'm looking at myself in the camera here. I think I've aged about 10 years this weekend. That may not just be to the shitting. That may be due to other things as well. Who knows? But that has had a fucking toxic effect on my look. Hey, man. It's really, like, toxic. This shitting is really toxic for me. That's how people would say it these days, I imagine. Anyway, yeah, so that's been my fucking life this weekend. Imodium. If it wasn't for that, take 2. That's what they say in it. Take 2 straight away, and every time you shit, take 1. I was leathering through those Imodiums. God knows what's going to happen to me now. You take 2 minutes. I don't think I'm going to take another dump for about 1.5 years. I nailed those. Absolutely fucking nailed them. I've used up virtually a whole packet this weekend. Oh, dear. And the effect it has, I haven't been swimming. That's another thing. The pool last week, I thought I'll go every day. Every day to the swimming pool. Come on, Ben, we're going to do this. Let's fucking fine-tune this body and get it to maximum capacity, like in a week. See if we can do this, right? I thought what I'm going to do every day I'm going to get up, go to the gym opens at 8. So I thought I'll go to the gym at 8, get in the pool, do half an hour, take a sauna, and then get on with my day. Refreshed. That's what I thought I'd do. And then I get to the pool on Monday. It's fucking closed, isn't it? It's fucking closed because they're fixing the ceiling in there. That's it. Isn't it? That's life there in a nutshell, isn't it? You make plans and something happens outside of it to fuck it completely. I have no idea why there's an exclamation mark just come on the camera screen either. Jesus Christ. This is what happens, isn't it? Anyway, it's one travesty after another this week, I'll tell you. I did do a few gigs this week. I didn't have anything at the weekend. Saturday got cancelled, which was mildly and profusely annoying for me because it was a nice bit of money. It was fairly local, but that didn't go ahead. I had to. I had a gig Wednesday night that was really nice, and that was about it. Like, I think I did Tuesday and Wednesday last week. What did I do? Let's have a look. I can't even remember. I'm all over the shop after this weekend. I've just been here in the four walls of Briggs Towers, looking down at the outside world, thinking, just thinking I used to be part of society before I had this. Before I had this horrendous fucking shits that I've got. But we're on the way out. We're on the, we're on the downward slope now. Would it be the downward slope? I have no idea. I don't know. But I've been locked here in Briggs Towers all weekend, trying not to eat any. Basically, all I've been trying to eat is stodgy shit to try and stem the flow, so to speak. I've had a bit of pasta, bread, that sort of thing, dry stuff. That's what people say. I had a fucking bottle of Coke the other day as well. I haven't had Coke in ages, contrary to popular belief from certain conversations I've had this weekend. But I don't have Coke that often. I don't really like it. It makes my fucking skin feel like shit. You know what I mean? I can feel it the shit coming through my pores. When I have Coke. So I'm a water guy usually. Obviously tea, coffee. Yeah, I'm up for that. Sorry, I'll just have some water now. My voice is going. My voice is going for some reason. That'll be the next thing. I swear I've picked up some sort of bug. I was talking to somebody today and they've got the shits as well. So it's nice. Isn't it lovely how you can bond over things like that? Bodily functions. That's what I find. It's a beautiful experience to be able to bond over some bodily functions. So I've pretty much been locked up, hauled up, and held up, and holded up, whatever way you want to say it, here at Briggs Towers, like all weekend. So just chatting to people mainly. Obviously, like if you say you've got the shits, everybody gives you their shit stories, which, it's a universal thing, isn't it, when you're chatting to them? Somebody did say, tell me one fucking horrendous shit story this weekend. Here we go. New listener. New long-time listener. I was talking to somebody and they work in the airline industry. I know. And they were saying that like a passenger went into the toilet and just fucking desecrated the entire area in shit and were walking back to their seat with shit all down the side of them as well. Can you imagine sitting next to somebody like that? They had to close the toilet apparently, but yeah, Jesus Christ. I would not. Any sort of like airline thing. I hover. If I need the loo in an airline, thank God. I remember coming back from Egypt and that was brutal because my fucking bowels had gone then. I didn't even put my ass on the fucking seat. I was just hovering. Strength. That's why you need to do squats and shit like that, just in case you need to take a shit in a public toilet. So you don't have to put your ass on the fucking seat. Because even if you put toilet paper around the seat, somebody's pissed all over it, haven't they? And you're essentially, that's going to, there's nothing worse. I remember nothing worse than sitting on a toilet seat. This is when I started to develop my my quads. There's nothing worse than sitting on a toilet seat and you get a wet bit and you're like, that is not water. I know that's not water. I know that's not fucking water. Obviously you wipe it, but sometimes you miss it, don't you? and then you sit down. I did that once, and I was like, oh, God. I swear to God, I could feel it burning my skin. Anyway, let's talk about nicer stuff. I'm fucking thirsty as well, and I've just drank the last of my water. I should have got more. That's probably why my voice is sounding a little hoarse at the moment. I don't know. I've definitely picked something up, though. You feel weak, tired. You don't want to do anything. You can't go anywhere. You don't trust yourself to go anywhere, do you? That's the thing. Because, like in fucking 2 minutes flat, you could be fucking, dying for the loo. So I've been in all weekend. God knows what it is. I'm hoping it's a bug. I don't see how it can be something I've eaten. I don't eat meat, so it can't be anything like that cooked. Yes, I'm one of those people. Yeah? Sue me. Yeah? I don't eat meat. So it can't be anything like that unless it's salad. Unless I just had a Jippy stomach and it's fucking salad. So I know that's not particularly great. Like if you've got a bit of a Jippy stomach, but these things happen, don't they? Anyway, I'm taking it easy. That's what I'm saying. I'm taking it easy this week. Those I may have to waste those 4 chocolate creamy eclairs as well. It's my fucking favourite. I fucking love them. I could fucking hammer them right now. Anyway, what I have done this weekend is I've chatted to a few people this weekend, but also I have been hammering the films. Hammering them. Thanks to my little site I go onto online, illegal.com. Here we go. Illegal.com. That's not the address, obviously, but it is my highly illegal Chinese site. I think it's a Chinese site. I don't know. There's either that or just every copy of every video on there has got Chinese subtitles. But, I'm learning the language. I'm getting to know the culture through illegally uploaded videos. There we go. And movies. But I did watch, here we go. I watched Dungeons and Dragons. That was all right. It's, it's so-so, isn't it? I know they're trying to kick off that franchise, aren't they? Get that fucking sweet DD money. But I watched it. It was all right. I had one eye on that and one eye on fucking texting away to friends. That's what I had. So I was like kind of watching that, and you can never really concentrate, can you, when you're deep in conversation about something. So I probably didn't give it the benefit of the doubt. One thing I did, hold the fucking front page. One thing I did have, I just received a text message there. Okay, now, one thing I did give the time of day was the new Indiana Jones film. So here we go. I've seen a lot of people slagging it off. Now, I'm a big Indiana Jones fan, possibly because I see myself as a bit of an Indiana Jones character. I know, you see it too. I know that. Fucking hell. 46 and still got no self-awareness, Ben. You're fucking right, that's right. You're fucking right. Only because I grew up on those films. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, fucking great films. Last Crusade, fucking great film. Crystal Skull, fucking awful. They always bring, bring it back, and it's not as good, isn't it? To quote Star Wars, you're never going to get 3 films as good as a trilogy. Rogue One was pretty good, but, that was because it was dark as shit, wasn't it? But, because they've got in that mindset now, this is what seems to happen with any of those films. They make the film that they want to make. They make that. That's the initial film. And that's a fucking corker because it's not been done before. Stuff like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, like the first films were fucking great. Groundbreaking films. And then they'll make a couple of good ones, and then they'll have a break. They'll try and make the cash cow, but they haven't got the same the same mindset anymore. And then they start predicting what the audience wanted liked about it, and then they start playing to what their perceived nature of the audience wants, and that's when they fuck up. But however, I quite enjoyed it, to be perfectly honest. I ain't gonna lie to you, I quite enjoyed it. I know. Maybe it was the nostalgia fact. Maybe it was the fact it actually distracted me from potentially destroying my toilet bowl and burning the fucking enamel off of that. But I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I don't see where the issue is. I may even watch it again tonight. I know, people. That's what I'm saying. There was a few little bits that I enjoyed. I enjoyed. It's I'm not going to give you any spoiler alerts here, please, but people. But it was. I quite enjoyed it. That's it. Maybe you may say that I don't know about films and that sort of shit. It is a little bit weird seeing a 70-odd-year-old Indiana Jones, running around, or lolloping along more than running around, really. But I thought it was a good film. I'd check it out if I was you. You are. I mean, essentially, you are watching it with a sense of sort of like disbelief, in the fact that it's a 70-year-old guy jumping around and running around, and you just think, oh God, why are they making an old guy do this? Why are they making a fucking old man do all of this? This is just cruel. But I thought the Phoebe Waller-Bridge character, her of Fleabag, I thought that was quite good. You got a kid character in there as well. You've got a fucking Nazi, fucking evil guy. So we're getting back to basics here. It's quite a good sort of adventure. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was quite a good film. And kill me if you don't think that either. You know what I mean? Yeah, you may sue me and stuff. But that's the best sort of like action film, isn't it? I don't think there's anything out there that can top an Indiana Jones film. I know there's the the Mission Impossible films and shit like that, which, it's not really the same sort of genre, is it? The closest thing is possibly the Da Vinci Code, isn't it, a little bit? But he's not really action-packed. And I tell you what, the one thing with the Indiana Jones film, you always get a good punch sound when he punches somebody. It's that, isn't it? It's a classic punch sound in that. Obviously, you get the, it's almost like a Bond film with the fucking bullets flying around at their feet and stuff like that. Nobody ever seems to get hit with a bullet. Everybody, that is the category of any James Bond film. Well, the old ones. I'm talking about Roger Moore time. You know what I mean? I watched The Spy Who Loved Me yesterday, and when that Lotus, is it a Lotus Esprit? He's driving along, the white one. You can see, for some reason, the helicopter that's firing bullets at him is firing exactly at the sides of the car on both sides. You'd have just thought she'd just bend her stick a little bit, keep the fucking machine gun going, bend her stick a little bit, and just bring it inside a little bit so it hit the car. But no, that'd be too much. The latest Bond films are a little bit more, Daniel Craig getting the shit kicked out of him and stuff like that. It takes it away. Roger Moore will always be my Bond, I think. I know Sean Connery, everybody says he's the best, but I like the sleazy. If Roger Moore's Bond was around now, he'd spend most of his time in court answering sexually related questions, wouldn't he, about his sexual history and things like that. This woman said no. Well, it's she really meant yes. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Oh, Roger Moore was a bit sleazy Bond, wasn't he? He was like Bond after a few too many fucking martinis, wasn't he? Shaken, not stirred. Most of the women these days would be extremely stirred, I think, by his actions. He was just, wasn't it? Like he's fighting with a woman and then suddenly starts kissing her. That's not how reality is it? I don't even think reality back then was like that, was it? I think women probably just had to go along with it because there weren't laws to protect them. I have no idea. Anyway, he's and that's me saying, oh yeah, Roger Moore's a really sleazy Bond, but he is my favourite Bond. It's only my favourite Bond because I grew up around that era. He was like 1970s, wasn't he? So like when I was growing up, like during the 80s, when I was old enough to watch films, all of those films were on TV. So you sit and watch, The Spy Who Loved Me or whatever. They're doing it again now, aren't they? They're playing on fucking ITV at the minute on a Sunday afternoon. But you'd be watching those on a Sunday afternoon because it was like the Timothy Dalton era, which was a little bit darker, wasn't it? But there you go. Anyway, what are we on? 27 fucking minutes, man. We've got 3 minutes left to complete this half an hour. Any questions at this stage, people? I remember going to Orlando. I went to Universal Studios and Disney World when I was 16, right? I just did my GCSEs, did that. And they had... This is one thing, like I won't go to the cinema anymore. I hate going to the cinema now, right? I contemplated going to the cinema to watch Indiana Jones, right? Because I really wanted to see it. And I hope that it was a good film. And I think it is a good film. But I watched it on my laptop instead, right? But the one thing, this is the one thing I miss about the cinema. Years ago, when I used to go to the cinema when I was a kid, they had merch there. They had memorabilia. You know what I mean? You'd go there, you'd be able to get... Like, I remember going to see Batman in 1989. I was 12 years old, fucking loved it. I got a Batman poster, put it on the back of my door. It was the first one, the Michael Keaton one. It was fucking fantastic. They don't do that anymore. And I know I'm a 46-year-old man, people. But there's still a tiny little boy inside me that gets slightly excited at merchandise when I go to the cinema. Why can't they bring that back? Just doing merch for films anymore. Surely that's in the interest of the studio. If you get a big blockbuster like Indiana Jones, like Star Wars, that sort of thing, surely they can do more than just doing a like Indiana Jones Cup. Surely they could have the posters, the fucking bits like that. Because I remember I went to see The Last Crusade at the cinema, and I had a big pull-out poster thing. There was a fucking booklet, like, of how they made the film and all that sort of thing. It was fucking great. I loved that. That's why I loved going to... That's why people love going to Disneyland and shit like that, because you get all the fucking merch there. I remember getting an Indiana Jones bracelet. There was a fucking hat I had, like, when I was 16. Yeah, I was 16. I still loved all that shit. And, that was after I did my GCSEs. We went to Orlando for about fucking 3 weeks, I think. It was fucking fantastic. Then were the days, isn't it? Now, I can't go there on my own, can I? I'm a single 46-year-old guy, no kids. This is where kids work out good for you, isn't it? When you want to go Disneyland or something like that and not look like a fucking paedophile. I can't go to Disneyland on my own. I've got to, go with at least a girlfriend. You can go with a girlfriend, that's fine, because nobody's going to be worried about you. But if you're a single guy going on your own, ticket for one, please. I bet they put a fucking tabard on you. And immediately radio through to security and go, single guy here, like walking around the park, just keep an eye on him. That's it. I think that's all I want a relationship for, just so I can go to Orlando and go around the parks. That's it. Or where's the other one? LA, isn't it? Is that the other one? One's Disney World and one's Disneyland, isn't it? That's all I want. I don't want to go to Euro Disney. It's fucking shit. It's going to be awful, isn't it? You got a French Mickey Mouse sitting there smoking, looking moody. Shit weather, pissing it down. Jesus, sounds awful. That would kill my fucking experience. I don't know why they did that in Paris. I don't know why they just didn't stick it somewhere like Spain, or stuck it on an island or something, like a Spanish island or something. I don't know. Anyway, that is this episode. We've rambled fucking on. I've told you far too many intimate details about my bowel movements this weekend, and and that's that. So there, we're all going to have to deal with it. I had to deal with it this weekend. You're having to deal with it now. Okay, I feel like it's brought us closer together though. That's the main thing, isn't it? Anyway, that is episode 297 of the Ben Briggs podcast. There's big things coming in the future. I'll be doing a podcast with some other people as well. So we shall see when we can sort all of that out in the next couple of months. So yeah, I'll let you know a little bit closer this time towards that anyway. Keep listening. Have a good fucking week. I hope you don't get this fucking horrible bug that's going around. If it is a bug. And I'll speak to you next Sunday. It will be next Sunday because I'm going to be switching on my fucking laptop, my MacBook, on the Saturday to make sure it hasn't got any fucking updates. And I'll speak to you then. Take care, motherfuckers.